come in and spend money at their business or promote their business to other people. So I guess sort of a question, in terms of relationships with your audience, how would you measure that, and are there any other things that you can any other hints that you can sort of give to us in terms of engaging our fans and our fan base? And then the second thing is how do you create more fans? How do you get people to click that button? Why do they want to click that button? We're so inundated with all the stuff you get in a newsletter. It's click on our YouTube and this and that. How would you recommend us to sort of set ourselves apart, to get people to really follow us and our companies?
Sure. So the first question with measurement, I think that I guess the easiest way I can answer it is that there's first, I think you'd have to decide what you wanted to measure, right? So, there could be you could use social media in terms of all different types of business goals, right? So you could say, I'm going to use this specifically for customer service. So Best Buy, for example, has their blue shirts that they call blue shirts on Twitter. And what their goal is to answer as many customer service questions as possible. So their measurement of success might be how many phone calls their customer service didn't get, right? So that would be their measure. For us in a small business, it may be just the measurement for the cupcake company may be you could say how many comments that somebody left, or that could be a measurement of engagement. Is if 40% of my fans leave a comment in 1 week, that's a good thing because it shows that there's some level of interest beyond just having me as a fan that is valuable. So I think that you have to just sort of decide, is it that you want to build a relationship with them, and that may be comments that people leave, it may be responses to a promotion you have, it could be various other things, So I think that, it just depends on, again, Facebook may have its own measurements, Twitter may have its own measurements, your LinkedIn account may have its own measurements. If you had a Flickr page that really tied to your business, for instance, and how many people passed that to other people, a picture that you had, it could be a measurement of success. So, if I'm thinking of a cupcake company, they may tie it back to sales. Sales is sometimes more difficult to tie back to social media properties because usually it's not used as a sales driver. There are instances where it can be, but primarily you use social media to build and sustain relationships with people. So if your business isn't using it for sales, then I would see how many types of the industry term, and usually I hate using these, which is the conversion, right? A conversion is when you ask someone to make a decision and they do it. And so a conversion in social media accounts could be, say they like, I'll go to Facebook because we all kind of know it, is if you say you like something. So if, as a business, if the cupcake company would say, how many people, we're going to have a contest to say, we're going to have a new flavor of cupcakes, right? It's going to be A, B, or C, crazy sprinkle frosting one and double, triple chocolate this and that. Which one do you guys want? And if 40% of your fans engage that type of thing, and then you gave them all a coupon to go get that new chocolate, whatever, then that would be a test of a measurement that they could use it for, and that's some benefit to them. So, and that was very long-winded, but maybe there's pieces that you could have pulled out of that were useful. But then when you'd say, how do you get more fans? I would say, again, it just depends on how you look at it. There's no real one clear way to say that. And I would say the best way that you get fans is you provide value to people. Because you're right, there's so many different ways that you could use the web, and there's so many other potential fans for different companies out there that you have to give something to somebody that's really valuable that they will respond to. So discounts off of things, often if you're going to take a money route, it's not as valuable because if you're using money as a driver, it's not like, you might not get as much of a sustained relationship. If you have something valuable to say, like in the cooking world, if you were to give out recipes, each week you're going to give out, you want your fans to give you a recipe of a cupcake that they like, and that you are going to make that cupcake for the next month in honor of them with their name on it, you might have a lot of people who are in that world that may continue to talk to you because they want that recognition. Everybody in these social media channels is so narcissistic, they all want to talk about themselves. So as much as you kind of try to play into that, that's one way of getting more responses and more people to click you as being fans. And and also some other thing, if you have content that you create playing into people's narcissism on websites, like here's the cupcake in honor of your name and this is what it looks like, that person and their friends are probably very likely to pass it on to all of their other friends, right? And so those other friends may, as a way, say, yes, I'm going to be your friend too, right? So I think that the strategy is really just thinking, it's going back to kindergarten and saying, why does that kid want to hang out with me? As I'm nice, as I share my toys with him, I don't push him on the ground, and I tell other people that he's really cool, she's really cool. Those are the reasons why people are going to be your friend. There's no magicness to the web and social media. It's all stuff you know already. You just have to take that layer of technology out that sort of confuses the issue sometimes. There's not like a really golden ticket to that answer, but I think that's
not let people test drive your product.
Yeah,
like you were saying in the presentation, don't be afraid of negative comments when you do that.
Sure. Yeah, even doing that, even someone saying
people appreciate the honesty.
They do, especially right now when people appreciate the transparency. Especially there's lots of backlash from companies that are big that are sort of ominous and mean, like in the past, Walmart, for instance, would block a lot of the negativity that come out, and then they pay for that later when people find out the truth. So being
on the other hand, Ford was letting people test drive their cars and write about it, good and bad. Obviously, a lot of them were bloggers who appreciated the opportunity and wrote positive feedback, but some was negative. That campaign jump-started Ford's resurgence.
Yeah, that's true.
#1 automaker in America.
I think that thing that can also help is finding the people out there that what's also called this, a social graph. A social graph is how many friends have, there's a group of friends, and then they have a group of friends, and then it just gets bigger and bigger. And finding people that you may want to specifically market to that show that they have a large group of friends, but not only that they have a large group of friends, but that when they talk about something, these people respond to them. These are like the trendsetters or the, I'm missing whatever word. Influencers, right? Being able to have a good relationship with them is another way to get more friends yourself.
I want to expand on that a little. I have a background in media marketing, and I think what you said about building and sustaining relationships is very important, because I think what I've found a lot of my clients or previous clients or just people in general that I know where their major fault is it's one thing to create a page or to start engaging in any sort of social media outlet. If you don't sustain it, if you're not, it's a constant conversation, an ongoing interaction, an ongoing conversation. So if you're just gonna throw something up and then not really go back to it, or be active and then all of a sudden you're not, you're gonna lose everybody. So you have to just make a commitment to really engage with these people on a consistent basis. However, the ideas you had are great, but if you're not implementing anything or any ideas,